Ever found yourself in a situation where you and someone else just can't seem to agree on something? What do? Well, welcome to the world of conflict. Conflict is that inevitable friction that arises when differing views, ideas, or actions overlap. It's a universal experience woven into the fabric of our personal and professional lives. At home, it could be a disagreement over household chores or parenting styles. In the office, it may surface as a dispute over project responsibilities or strategic direction. Conflicts can be as diverse as the individuals and groups involved. But here's the thing, conflict isn't inherently bad. It can spark innovation, deepen relationships, and foster personal growth. The crux lies in how we handle it. That's where conflict resolution skills come into play. By mastering these skills, we can navigate the choppy waters of disagreement, steer towards common understanding, and arrive at mutually beneficial outcomes. Understanding the essence of conflict and its impact is the first step towards effective resolution. Imagine a world where everyone makes an effort to truly understand each other. Sounds peaceful, doesn't it? To make this vision a reality, let's dive into the concept of active listening, a crucial tool in conflict resolution. Active listening is not just about hearing the words that another person is saying. It's about fully engaging, understanding the context, the emotions, and the subtext that lies beneath the surface. It's about making a conscious effort to truly comprehend the perspective of the other person. Why is active listening so critical in resolving conflicts? Well, most misunderstandings stem from miscommunication and presumptions. When we actively listen, we build a bridge of understanding that allows us to clear up misconceptions, empathize with the other party, and more effectively address the issue at hand. So how can we practice active listening, especially during a conflict? The first step is to give your full attention to the speaker. This means putting away distractions, maintaining eye contact, and focusing on what is being said. Remember, your aim here is to understand, not to formulate a response while the other person is still speaking. The second step is to avoid interrupting. It's natural to want to jump in with your thoughts and opinions, but doing so can disrupt the speaker's flow and make them feel unheard. Hold your thoughts until they've finished speaking. The third step is to provide feedback. This doesn't mean you have to agree with what's being said, but rather, you should summarize or paraphrase what you've understood to confirm that you've correctly grasped their point of view. This can be as simple as saying, "So what I'm hearing is," practicing active listening does require patience and self-control, but the benefits are immeasurable. It can transform conflicts from heated battles into opportunities for growth and understanding. Remember, the goal of active listening is to understand, not to judge or argue. Ever notice how much easier things are when everyone is on the same page? This is the essence of seeking common ground in conflict resolution. It's all about finding a shared understanding, a mutual goal, or a joint interest. But why is this so important? Well, you see, when a conflict arises, it's often because two or more parties have different perspectives or interests. This divergence can escalate the disagreement, making it more complex and difficult to resolve. However, by seeking common ground, we can reduce the complexity of the conflict, fostering a more conducive environment for resolution. So how do we identify this common ground? It starts with active listening, which we discussed in the previous scene. By truly understanding the other party's perspective, we can begin to identify shared goals or interests. It's like piecing together a puzzle. You need to find the connecting pieces to create a complete picture. Once you've identified the shared interest, it's time to negotiate towards a mutually acceptable solution. Here, diplomacy and tact come into play. It's not about winning or losing, rather it's about working together to find a resolution that satisfies all parties involved. This negotiation process can be like a dance. It requires patience, understanding, and sometimes a little give and take. You may need to adjust your stance or approach, but remember, the goal is to find a solution that everyone can agree on. Here are a few tips to help you along the way. Be open and transparent about your own interests and listen to the interests of others. Encourage dialogue and ask open-ended questions to help uncover shared goals. And remember, it's okay to agree to disagree on some points. The aim is to find enough common ground to build a bridge towards resolution. So, next time you find yourself in a conflict, take a step back, breathe, and seek that common ground. You might be surprised at how this simple shift in perspective can transform a disagreement into an opportunity for collaboration and growth. Finding common ground can turn a heated argument into a constructive conversation. What if the secret to resolving conflict was simply being open to change? This question brings us to the heart of our fourth strategy for conflict resolution, the art of compromise. Compromise, in its essence, is about flexibility and adjustment. It's about being willing to let go of rigid stances and open yourself up to new possibilities. It's the art of finding a middle ground, a space where all parties can feel heard, understood, and satisfied. But how do we do that? How do we navigate this delicate balance between standing our ground and being open to change? First, we need to understand that compromise is not about losing or surrendering. It's about finding a solution that works for everyone. This requires a shift in mindset from a win-lose perspective to a win-win perspective. It's about seeing the bigger picture, beyond the immediate disagreement, and focusing on the shared goals and interests. Second, it's important to communicate effectively. Express your needs clearly, but also be willing to listen and understand the needs of the others. This mutual understanding forms the basis for a successful compromise. Third, don't be afraid to explore creative solutions. Sometimes the best compromises are those that are out of the box, those that we didn't see at first. Remember, there's always more than one way to solve a problem. Finally, be patient. Compromise is a process, not an event. It takes time to negotiate, to adjust, and to arrive at a solution that everyone can agree with. So next time you find yourself in a conflict, remember the art of compromise. Be flexible, be open, and be willing to adjust your position. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but remember, the goal is not to win the argument, but to resolve the conflict in a way that benefits everyone involved. Remember, compromise doesn't mean losing, it means finding a solution that works for everyone. Ever wondered how some people can stay so calm in the face of conflict? It's not a superpower or a mystical art, but a skill that can be learned and honed. Remaining calm and respectful during conflict resolution is crucial. Why, you might ask? Well, it's simple. When emotions run high, our ability to think clearly can often take a backseat. Heated emotions can escalate conflict, and instead of resolution, we find ourselves in a deeper hole of disagreement. Imagine a pot of boiling water. If you turn up the heat, it overflows, causing a mess. Similarly, when we let our emotions get the best of us, we can end up saying or doing things we later regret. But if we can adjust the heat, manage our emotions, the water stays in the pot, and we can use it to make a delicious cup of tea. Or in other words, we can turn a potentially destructive conflict into a productive dialogue. So how do we manage our emotions in the face of conflict? Here are some tips. First, take deep breaths. This simple act can help you stay calm and focused. Second, remind yourself of the goal, resolving the conflict. It's not about winning or losing, but finding a solution that benefits all parties involved. And third, try to understand the other person's perspective. This can help you maintain respect for them, even if you disagree with their viewpoint. Remember, respect is not just about being polite. It's about acknowledging the other person's feelings and experiences. It's about valuing their input, even if it differs from yours. And most importantly, it's about treating them with dignity, regardless of the situation. Staying calm and respectful in the face of conflict is not easy. It requires patience, understanding, and a lot of self-control. But the rewards are worth it. Not only can it help you resolve conflicts more effectively, but it can also improve your relationships, both personal and professional. Staying calm and respectful is the key to turning conflict into a productive dialogue. So the next time you find yourself in a conflict, remember to take a deep breath, focus on the goal, and treat the other person with respect. You'll be surprised at how much easier it is to find a resolution. So, how do you transform a conflict into a constructive conversation? In our journey today, we've explored 4 key strategies that can help you do just that. Firstly, we delved into the importance of active listening. By truly understanding the perspectives and needs of all parties involved, we can create a foundation for open dialogue and empathy. Secondly, we discussed the value of seeking common ground. Identifying shared goals can guide us towards mutually acceptable solutions, strengthening relationships in the process. Thirdly, we highlighted the necessity of being open to compromise. Adjusting your position can be challenging, but it's a crucial step towards reaching a resolution that respects everyone's needs. Finally, we emphasized the importance of staying calm and respectful, even in heated situations. This approach encourages productive dialogue, fostering an environment where resolution is possible. Remember to practice these skills in your daily interactions. With these strategies in your toolkit, you're well equipped to turn any conflict into an opportunity for growth